Hi, I'm Catherine Kosh, Vice President Learner Services and Chief Financial Officer at Bow Valley College. My pronouns are she, her, hers.
And I'm Felix Tan, a student in Health and Human Services Management program at Bow Valley College. My pronouns are he, him, and his. In this video, we'll talk about the distinctions between gender identity, gender expression, and sexual orientation. Gender identity is who we are inside, how we self-identify. The perceptions and roles of different genders vary from culture to culture. Western culture has historically defined two genders, male and female or man and woman. And gender has long been assumed to align with our anatomical sex as defined by a person's reproductive organs, body structure, and other physical characteristics. However, a growing body of research tells us that gender identity develops and evolves naturally, often distinctly from a person's anatomical sex characteristics, and is affected by biological, genetic, and environmental factors.
For centuries of medicine, people have been assigned a sex at birth based on their anatomical sex, and historically, this sex was assumed to be the same as the gender they would mature to. But science shows us these two need not be aligned. A person who develops a gender that is the same as their assigned sex at birth may be called cisgender, whereas a person whose gender develops differently from their sex assigned at birth may be called transgender. Gender identity and how we self-identify within cultural norms of masculinity or femininity, neither or both, and our personal gender identity may be different from our outward gender expression. While Western culture has historically only identified male and female genders, many cultures around the globe, including some in Asia, Africa, and Europe, identify 3, 4, or even 5 distinct genders, including many North American indigenous cultures, which recognize two-spirited people as a unique gender.
Gender expression is how we present ourselves to the outside world. It can be represented through visible things like the clothes we're wearing and the way we style our hair, audible things like the tone in our voice or the way we speak, and other characteristics like our name, pronouns, and body language. An individual's outward gender expression can help us tell the world who we are as a person, or it can help us challenge outdated biases about gender roles and abilities. How closely a person's internal gender identity and their outward gender expression align differ from person to person. For example, think about 3 famous female musicians. Off the top of your head, each of them could represent themselves outwardly in very different ways: hairstyle, clothing, makeup. But each of them identifies as a woman. Our outward expression isn't necessarily indicative of their gender identity or sexual orientation.
And that brings us to our last point, sexual orientation, which can be defined as to whom one is attracted. Just like gender, there is a spectrum of orientations, which differ from person to person, or even between romantic attraction and sexual attraction. 2 of the most well-known sexual orientations are straight or heterosexual, which refers to a person attracted to a gender that is different from their own, and homosexuality, which is the clinical term for a person attracted to the same or similar gender as themselves. This is more commonly referred to as lesbian for a woman attracted to other women, or gay for a man attracted to other men. However, there is a broad variety of orientations that exist in our culture, including bisexual or pansexual, which refers to people attracted to genders both the same as and different from their own, and asexual or aromantic, meaning a person who has little or no sexual or romantic attract to any person or gender. Sexual orientation, similar to gender identity, develops in the brain based on a number of biological, genetic, and environmental factors. Like gender identity, sexual orientation is not a choice a person makes.
For the sake of brevity, we've simplified some of the complex concepts discussed. However, a full list of resources is available on the screen and in the video description. Thank you for joining us today and learning more about the distinctions between gender identity as who we are, gender expression as how we present ourselves, and sexual orientation as who we are attracted to. On behalf of Bow Valley College, Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.